Hey everyone, welcome back to another review from Jackson Jet Setting. Today we're checking out the Hilton Waikoloa Village Resort on the Big Island of Hawaii, one of the most famous resorts in all of Hawaii. It's known as the Disneyland of Hawaii, and as you'll see throughout the video, for good reason. So let's check it out. So the Waikoloa Village is located in the Waikoloa development, which is on the northern side of Kona, on the west side of the Big Island of Hawaii. The Hilton Waikoloa opened actually as the Hyatt Regency Waikoloa in 1988 and was one of the largest hotel openings of all time. The resort originally had some Clydesdale horses that would take around guests on the immense grounds that you'll see in this video. And of course, the famous boats and the tram running through the resort. Now, because of COVID, the resort was actually closed down for a while, so algae took over the canals and you won't see the boats operating, though those are due to reopen this summer of 2021. So you just saw the open air lobby there. That's where you'll check in for your room, and you'll be in one of 3 towers if you're staying on the main part of the Hilton Waikoloa Village. One of the towers, the Ocean Tower, has been turned into Hilton Grand Vacation properties, but the Makai and the Palace Towers are the other 2 options for guests at the Hilton Waikoloa Village. The room I'll be showing you today is located in the Palace Tower, which is on the northern side of the resort, closer to the Ocean Tower, which is the northernmost tower. But as you see, the tram, it's going along those canals that normally have boats that can take you to the room as well. And you have the snorkel lagoon and some of the pool complexes beyond, and as well as the ocean, of course. So you can book the Hilton Waikoloa with points. Nights start at 60,000 points a night, which is a pretty good deal considering the resort does charge a resort fee that guests paying cash will have to pay. But if you're using Hilton points and you have status, which most Hilton credit cards give you for free, you don't need to pay that. One thing to note in the lobbies here is that they're open air, and that can cause some noise issues, some echoes, some birds in the morning. So keep that in mind if you're considering this resort. It can get a little loud, and the sunrise is pretty early on the Big Island. We were here in May, and the sun started rising around 5:30 in the morning. So that's when the birds start chirping. Now you might wonder where this tower is compared to some of the resort amenities. It's located near one of the pool complexes with sort of quasi-lazy river. It doesn't really connect in a full circle, but it's a long pool with some slides and rocks for kids to have fun in. So it is close to one of those, but not the main pool complex. So here's the main room. It was retailing for over $300 during our stay, plus resort fee, plus taxes in Hawaii, so definitely expensive. You'll see that you don't get much for that, so let's take a look at the room. So a decent sized shower area. This was an ADA room. We took what we could get. Nice flat screen TV. That's obviously been added recently. 2 beds. Everything's very clean. And a nice balcony overlooking the ocean, which is what people come to Hawaii for. So definitely a nice view from the tower. So now we're going to start our tour from the main lobby, going south from the lobby and then wrapping our way back north towards the Lagoon Tower where we just left off. To the left there is the Kona bar, so you can grab drinks right there. This pathway kind of follows the tram path and some of the boat path, but you'll notice there's lots and lots and lots of art. There's miles of Asian art, and the hotel was, when it opened, was very proud of that. They scoured all through Asia looking for this stuff, and definitely a unique feature of the resort, and it was cool to check out some of the displays. So naturally, the business center, the rental car center, the wedding office are all near the main lobby. So that's located right here. But as we journey forward, you'll see more Asian art, of course, and more of the resort-style amenities. So this area that we're coming up on is where you'll find the resort spa, as well as a number of shops, where you can grab a t-shirt, some sun shirts, some snacks. So that's very convenient for guests as well as the Hawaiian Cultural Center, which I didn't see open during my stay, but under normal times you can go in and experience some authentic Hawaiian culture and learn a little bit more about the culture that you're visiting here on the Big Island. This is also the end of the boat canal, and there's a convenient coffee shop right there to the right. So as we walk out towards the pool, which is going to be basically one level below, we're kind of on a hill above it. To the left here are some former animal displays. I think there were some flamingos. We even have a sign that points out that there used to be flamingos here, and people that continue to come back to the resort may be missing their flamingos that used to be there. But it's also where the resort's luau is, which happens a few times a week, and they were open during COVID. Nearby too is the tennis garden, so there are courts that are right on property, though depending on what tower you're staying in, it could be quite a walk to the courts. So here's our first look at the main grotto pool. It's the largest pool that's on property, so that's kind of the open air area, but the pool flows under the rocks there, and I shot this in the morning, but normally there are some waterfalls flowing, and I have a few shots a little later that shows that, but there's hot tubs and slides that are within that grotto, which is pretty unique and pretty fun for the kids and for the adults as well. So as we jump out this way, you'll see some more of the grounds. I mean, this is still all part of the hotel, which is just absolutely crazy. But you'll see the ocean, of course. The hotel itself doesn't really have a beach that you would consider, typical of an ocean destination. They have a sand beach, but it overlooks an interior lagoon, which does have fish. I did see a turtle in there actually too. So there is opportunities for snorkeling on property. May not be as good as, you know, the open ocean or some of the beaches that are a little bit more north of the hotel that we did check out, but is an option for guests. This restaurant to the right was closed during our visit, the KPC, but it overlooks the pool, so that is an option during normal times. It does get windy on the Big Island, so I really liked how this pool was kind of sunken in, especially being right on the ocean. We had a pretty windy day and it didn't really feel too breezy in the pool area because of that fact, so that was pretty great. And the pool itself has these awesome drawbridges that are pretty fun to walk across. It's pretty popular with the kids. So here it is a little later in the day. You see chairs do fill up, and they've reduced the number of chairs out there because of COVID. So if you do need a beach chair, especially on a weekend, definitely grab it. I will say too that the resort is selling resort passes to guests that aren't staying at the hotel. So if you see it busier than normal, that's, maybe one reason why. So here's the interior of the grotto that I was mentioning earlier. That's the main part of the pool, and there's even a whirlpool around the rock there that you have to actually swim to get to. Here's the kids slide right there. Pretty good length. I went down it once. Pretty fun. So as we walk back through the grotto, you'll see the snack shop that serves as kind of the pool's bar. There's also a main restaurant that's near where you get your wristbands for the day, as well as your towels. The resort uses an interesting system that I hadn't seen before for towels, where you actually have to buzz your room key to get your towels, and the towels themselves have microchips, and you have to return those towels or you get charged $20. So definitely note that. Here I'm just showing the shuttle that'll take you around the rest of the resorts that the Hilton owns. They have a couple of timeshare properties, as well as a few shopping centers that have more restaurant options for people, but that's always an option. So continuing on our tour, we're walking away from the pool area, but do note that one side of the pool has a sand bottom for kids, and it's a lot shallower. I saw a lot of kids around there. They have some statues of some turtles in there as well that kids were climbing on, so a lot of fun for them. But you'll see the ocean crashing in over there. It's really, really pretty. I felt like even though the rooms were a little bit of a disappointment here, the grounds, while older, were just absolutely beautiful, and the whole hotel wraps around this bay that just is gorgeous. So this lagoon right here is actually where the dolphins are, and you can swim with dolphins right on the resort. When the resort opened, I read that it was so popular that they actually had a dolphin lottery just to pay to swim with the dolphins. So we saw some people doing that. And there's a bar and a restaurant right there, so kind of fun to grab a beer and watch the dolphins if you're so inclined. And there's that Mackay Tower too, which is above the dolphin enclosure. So if you're looking to use the main pool a lot, I definitely recommend booking something in that tower versus the Lagoon or Ocean Towers. It's a pretty far jaunt or commute for you if you wanted to use that each day, or if you forgot something at your room. So we're actually winding back towards the lobby right now. The path goes around the lagoon, and the lobby is actually one floor up from us. So we'd have to take this grand staircase back to the lobby if we wanted to reach that. But we're gonna keep wrapping around the lagoon here and check out more of what the resort looks like. You'll see us pass under a cool waterfall with some benches and viewpoints. Just a lot of public areas for people just to hang out in. Just because you're spoiled for space at the Hilton Waikoloa. Here's a better look at the beach and the snorkel lagoon, so you can rent kayaks and paddle boards and don't have to deal with waves, which is kind of nice. Those bay windows up front is actually a restaurant that was definitely closed during our visit. It didn't seem open at all the chairs were wrapped up. But under normal times, some excellent views from there. So up ahead is the wedding chapel, which has a great view of the cove and the ocean beyond. And over to the right is actually the palace tower that we showed you the room in. The tower straight ahead on this shot is the ocean tower. We'll show you a little bit of that up ahead as well. You'll notice a lot of people jogging. There's miles of pathways to jog on, so if you're a big jogger, you don't even have to go off the property. So this pool seemed a little less popular, but I thought it was pretty nice and reminiscent of the Grand Wailea in Maui. They had a few pools with slides that slid down to different pools on lower levels, which was a lot of fun. Lots of waterfalls, and also that lazy river kind of that you can play around in. It's just one way, but definitely kind of had that feel. So maybe if they ever did renovations, completing the loop would be a cool thing. But there's actually pools on the second level there that you can overlook the ocean and the other pools from, which is pretty fun. This area is very popular for sunsets. We'll end the video here a little later at sunset. But Buddha Point kind of marks the northern end of the resort. It has a statue of Buddha, and it's definitely a lot of people hang out there and just kind of zone out, which is pretty fun. So here's that multi-level slide that slides into the other pool I was talking about a little earlier. Here's a nice view of the cove overlooking the entire resort. And so the ocean tower is right behind me as I shoot this. The ocean tower has two circles that are kind of within it. The train itself and the boats actually go into the atrium. There's coffee shops. It's also where the Hilton Grand Vacations are on property. It's a short walk away from the Nui Italian restaurant, which is also where the Hilton Gold and Diamonds get their breakfast. So definitely a good tower to stay in, and it was a little bit cheaper than the regular rooms at the Hilton Waikoloa, believe it or not, and you pay less of a resort fee. So if you want to stay directly on the property, it's definitely a good option if you're looking to save a little bit of money. So if you made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, please do so. I'm posting lots and lots of resort tours as I travel around the world, especially as the world reopens because of COVID. So hit that subscribe button, like it, tell your friends. Thanks so much for watching.